I become wanted and loved when I didn't get that in childhood so that I don't get abandoned? Okay, that's a great question. I have a course called A Kick-Ass You, and in that course I have an assessment. It's a self-concept assessment, and it talks about the 4 fears, the 4 major fears that you will have from childhood. Now, if you weren't wanted or loved, you will assume that the person you are now with or someone you're manifesting into your reality won't love you or want you. It's just naturally what will happen, because when you were a child, you weren't wanted and you weren't loved, or you're made to feel that way. Or your parents just didn't know how to express their love. Or you were told you weren't wanted, or you're a mistake, or you were fostered, or someone actually abandoned you, and therefore you have that belief. Now, that isn't necessarily true about you, but it's what you've believed to be true throughout your childhood, and now as an adult, you are going to fear that that's true now. So you're going to look for evidence. Like I said, Liz looks for evidence of getting hurt. You're going to look for evidence of not being loved and not being wanted. And you will find that evidence. It's called your reticular activating system. And it filters out all other possibilities and all other things and only searches for evidence of what it wants to know, which is, how am I going to be the safest here? So if you want to be safe, your brain thinks, I'm going to look for evidence that I'm going to be not loved. I'm going to look for evidence that I'm not wanted here. Then you'll manifest situations where you'll actually notice, you'll filter out and only notice situations where you're not loved, and you won't even notice the situations where you're loved. You'll only notice the situations and the times where you didn't feel wanted, but you won't notice the times where you actually were wanted. In fact, sometimes you'll totally misconstrue a situation and think you aren't being wanted or loved when you actually are, but your belief is so strong that you're not wanted or loved, that's all you see. So, if that's the case for you, darling, what you've got to do is now stop yourself every time you keep looking for evidence of that. Every time you read into situations where you think that's true, like someone didn't text you back and you think, oh, maybe they don't want me. Stop thinking that. Think, of course they want me. They're just busy. They're busy at work right now. They'll text me back soon because they love me so much. And you start talking to yourself like that. Of course I'm lovable. I'm the most lovable girl in the world. I'm their favourite person. Who wouldn't love me because I'm so special and kind and loving and caring and beautiful, and whatever reasons you want to give yourself for the reason you're wanted and loved. Then whenever anything comes up where you get triggered by your 3D reality or triggered by another person with your old fears of being not loved or not wanted, or that they're going to leave or you're going to be abandoned, then you've got to stop yourself. You've got to say the opposite. You've got to talk to yourself as if that isn't true and become the new you who doesn't believe those things, that you are not loved and wanted. And then gradually, slowly but surely, that person will start to reflect that new thinking that you have about yourself, that you are loved and wanted, and you will feel safe in that relationship because suddenly, miraculously, they're not reflecting your old shit anymore, and now they're reflecting the story you hold about yourself, that you are loved and wanted, and so you will be loved and wanted, and you probably were all along. Your reticular activating system just wasn't noticing it and was just looking for evidence that you weren't.